You are killing your business by chasing investors. Let me break it down. So, if you are chasing investors, you are trying to get funded. Without the right structure, you will eventually kill your business. Story of a founder I work with, like real life story. So this guy had a business and he was trying to get funded. So he was spending lots of time chasing investors because getting funded is actually a full time job. It's why you need certain structure before you can start that part. So he was attending conferences. I mean, for networking purposes, he was writing pitch decks. He was hanging out in certain circles, all in the name of meeting people that will introduce him to investors because he had, this person that he knows got funded when they met this person. So all he needed was to be here or there and was spending lots of time chasing investors instead of focusing on the business. And what that happens is that he started to what happened was that he started to optimize his business for investors instead of optimizing for customers. And if your customers are not happy, when you eventually get this money, the investors will not even like it will not work out and you would have let them down and you would have lost because investors will always win whenever they are giving you money based on the terms that you will agree to. So chasing investors without the right structure is definitely going to kill your business. And what do I mean by this? The right structure is that you must have a system of bringing in customers so that even when you, the founder, are out there trying to get investors' attention, trying to network with people that will help you get money, the business is moving forward. But if you do not have a reliable system of getting customers and you are chasing investors, then you won't get customers and you won't even have the proof again that the investors will need before they give you money. Another thing is that your numbers must be correct. So if all that you're doing, for example, your CAC, that's the cost of acquiring a customer and the customer lifetime value. All of these things have to be optimized. And how do you optimize them? You must make sure that you have a solid customer flow. What is the experience for the customers? And you need to spend time on these things. You need to go out, right, and meet customers. Recently, I was reading a post on LinkedIn and they talked about how the developer team were out meeting customers. Like they would go out and talk to customers just so that they can get first-hand experience. So if you have not done this and you are chasing investment, right, you're not going to succeed. Like your business is going to die eventually because as you're out there, your customers are being neglected. So you should have a system also for the operations that look after the customer. Then you should have a system for customer service and experience. Then you should have a system for operations to make sure that when you get the orders, right, they are delivered promptly, the quality is consistent. So I know there's a brand I used to buy food products from, and I stopped because the quality was not consistent. So if you are in a business that requires consistent quality, you need to make sure that the operations is intact, the customer's experience and section and service is intact, the core product development itself is intact, like everything is right to the standard. You have the system that is repeatable. Only then can you go out to get investors. Without that, your business is going to die. Now, there's the psychological cost of chasing investment. You must have heard the stories of people that said they applied 10 times, they applied 50 times. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Your emotional your emotions are going to take a hit. You probably feel depressed that you are getting rejection upon rejection upon rejection. And investors don't always tell you what's up. They will tell you due to the plenty applications or the competition was fierce. You know, this kind of language, you start to feel like, wait, maybe there's something wrong with your business. In fact, in 2022, I did work with a founder to start a company. Like I built his financial model, pitch deck, and stuff for the startup. And 12 months later, I spoke to him and he had a different business. I'm like, guy, what's going on? I was like, oh, that one was not working out. The investor says, that's what I'm talking about. You start building for the investors instead of the customers. And we all know that for your business to even be fundable, you must have been running this business for at least 2 years because that is when that's when you're able to gather data. You have to talk to customers, they'll tell you this, and you keep tweaking, but in the same direction. However, this guy felt like his idea was bad, his emotions took a hit, and he abandoned that business, trying to start a new one, which is even more tedious. So he literally killed a business by chasing investors. And a few years down the line, he observes that there's another person that started the same business as him, and that person, like the business the business has picked up now, and is making money, and he is on his third pivot this year, right? Like this 2026, he confessed to me that he was pivoting too early. And this happened because first he was building for investors. Next, he started to feel like, oh, my idea was bad. Instead of confirming from customers, he confirmed from investors. And he just started to feel like maybe he was not that good and took up some kind of deals that were not in his best interest, even as an individual, not talk about the business that he was trying to build. Now, the founders who eventually attract investors, right, are the ones that are not chasing them. This does not mean that they are not applying, but they're not chasing every investor. They're not attending every demo day. They're not attending every conference. They're not joining every circle online just to get investment. They are actually building their business knowing that the business can actually scale even without the investors' money. And then along the line, when they see any opportunity that aligns, like 70% aligns with what they are trying to achieve, and they're like more than 70% qualified for it, they put in an application and investors eventually give them money. In 2024, I worked with a founder. Her business was doing well, and some people were approaching her to invest in the business. And this was because she was not even chasing them, right? And the business was not like super successful that you say, okay, she was making over $1 million in profit a year. But there was a come of, there was a form of traction that she had achieved. The people that were observing this business just said that, wow, this business is going somewhere and I need to be part of it. So they approached her, and I was her accountant at the time. So she asked me if I thought external funding could help the business. Interestingly, it's cool. I just laid it bare for her that, oh, you are doing well, you can survive without them, but if this money were to come in, this is what you could do with it to grow faster. And that is actually the best place to be when you want to get external funding. You should be at a place where investors feel like they are missing out, not the place where I feel like, hey, I'm going to die if these investors do not come in. So if you're in that place, self, investors will not even give you money. And chasing them will now kill the business further. So if you're in a place where you are receiving lots of rejections from investors and you feel like you still need investors' money, right? I will advise you to take a step back. Like, this is just the best practice. I've seen people do it and it worked for them. Take a step back, review your business operations, because that's what investors even fund anyway. The customer acquisition process, the customer service process, how was the experience for your customer, and the core products, like the main thing that you are delivering. Like, are you delivering on the promise? Is your offer something that your customers want? And when they pay, is it what they get? If you can fix these things and you set it on autopilot, it's running on its own, whether you are actively working on it or not, this thing is working. That way, when you start approaching investors, you won't be begging them, because it will be more like it will be a with or without energy. You can come with us on this journey, or you can come without, but we are moving still and we are going to succeed. That is the vibe that investors even like, because they feel like, oh, okay, I want to be part of the success story, and then they eventually give you money. But do not chase investments at the risk of your business success or your business survival.